Welcome, everyone, to Ladies' #1 Detective Agency, Clearing the Paranormal. This is Season 3, Episode 1, and I am joined today. I'm your host, Aimée Clark. I am the owner of Earthlight Energies Incorporated. I'm a Holy Fire Reiki Master, practitioner, and teacher, and I'm joined today, I'm just so excited, by my co-host, Janet Graham.
Hello.
How are you doing, Janet?
I am doing fabuloso.
So am I.
The sun is shining.
I know.
Puts a smile on your face every time.
It does. And unfortunately, because of the time that we're recording this, our other co-host, Bill Johnston, is unable to join us. But this is a Tea with Janet starting 2026, and our theme for this episode is about what's happening with past lives. So 2 parts to it, I guess, and we might just chat about both of them at the same time. I don't know. But the first part is about what we personally are experiencing in our waking everyday life and in our dream state, and also what's happening on a global stage that you're getting from spirit as far as the connection with people in their past lives. So today is January the 8th, 2026.
Wow.
Hard to believe that we are here. And I think when all this COVID nonsense started, everyone said 2026 was going to be a much better year. I have a sense that the first part of this year is still going to be pretty rough. What are your thoughts on that, Janet?
Well, I feel like that we're going to have rough days, but it's like if you have 2 rough days, you're having, 5 days of good. Because I feel like the negative is slowly getting out of there.
Yeah.
But it's just the last little bit that has to be cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, things are exploding on the global front.
Oh,
with,
God, yeah.
All of our systems, political, monetary, all of that. And then, of course, the earth is shifting and changing and protesting, I guess. And weather manipulation is still happening, lots of earthquakes and all of that. So I feel like that's going to keep occurring.
Mm-hmm.
I know I woke up yesterday and I just had this sense of impending doom. I just could feel it all day. So I was picking something up from the collective. And one of my clients who's pretty sensitive, she mentioned something. She goes, yeah. She goes, I've been feeling, I said, it started to come in on the weekend. And then yesterday when I woke up, it was like, something's cooking.
Oh, a lot more than you think. Okay. But it's with other, not so much here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it feels like the more that we focus on ourselves, on what we need to do,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the more that fades away.
Yeah.
Okay. But what they're really saying to us is focus on being your authentic self.
Yes.
Focus on doing the things that make you feel I'm here for a reason. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, instead of, oh, I need to go here, I need to go there. No. Focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And focus on what you feel you need to change within yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're going to build a stronger bond with yourself and your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do that, it's like you're in this almost a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of feeling, I feel great. I can move forward. I can get things done, and I can get things done easier and quicker. It's like you're going to be able to manifest quicker. You're going to be able to see everything happening very, very quickly and easily.
Yeah.
And it's going to seem like, wow, I just thought about that and it's here already.
And I think, you bring up the manifestation thing. And of course, that's been such a big thing since The Secret came out. I mean, it was a thing before then, but it really exploded during that. And now everybody's kind of on the manifestation bandwagon and everyone claims to have their, way to be successful manifestors. And certainly with the secret stuff, there are some things they didn't tell you about that whole manifestation thing. But the other thing to keep in mind is your frequency and where you're at. You do not want to be if you try to manifest stuff that for your future, that's, going to propel you in a different way. If you're not doing your inner healing, that inner work, you're not going to,
No.
It's already there for you, but you're not going to get it because you're not there to be able to receive it, if that makes any sense.
Well, that's why it's so important to be authentic, right? To be your authentic self. Any healing you have to do, make sure you do that healing. Okay? Or find somebody that can help you to get that healing done. Like what you do with the Reiki and everything, it really helps people to see what they need to work on.
Mm-hmm. And the key is what they need to work on.
Exactly. Not what you need to work on.
Not what I am doing. And some people do need some other assistance, let's say, to the things that are coming up for them. Well, is this really mine? And then how do I do this? How do I get past this piece? But the key is accepting that it's yours and take responsibility for that, and you making the change. Because, I've often in the past, not often, I shouldn't say it that way, but there are times in the past I've had clients come in and, it's not as successful for them because they want you to fix them rather than they need to fix themselves, like
we can't fix anybody. They
No.
all have to fix themselves.
And every one of us have these, some of it we're going to move into the past life stuff, but some of it we brought from past lives because we couldn't get it healed in those other lives that we were in, or we weren't given the opportunity. I mean, there's so many different pieces that play here. Part of it is what we had to accept, on this prison planet coming back here, and what was forced upon us, every human being on the planet. Then there's the stuff that we brought in ourselves from past lives that we weren't able to heal. And then it's things that we created in this lifetime, or circumstances that we chose to experience. And I know a lot of people don't like that because it's like, why would I ever choose to have that experience? Well, it's your own soul education or
exactly
journey, right?
Exactly.
But there is no one who's immune to this. Every single one of us has to heal this. And in order to go forward into this new way of being and living and this whole ascension, whatever that's going to be, and I mean, let's face it, 98% of it, the whole ascension thing isn't, the spiritual high and connecting with ETs and all of that. It's emotional healing. That's what we're here to do, is this emotional healing. And it's for ourselves, generational, ancestral, like however you want it.
Well, what the really cool thing is, once you start to heal all that, it's like you open yourself up to allow your gifts to come out. Because people who thought, oh no, I have no gifts, I can't do anything. Yeah, you can. We all can.
We all can.
And it's really cool how you see them grow. And when they allow those gifts to come out because they're healing, holy moly.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Well, and I mean, part of that is now you're getting in touch with those other aspects of you.
Exactly.
Where you had those gifts, you had those things that you came in here for. And we all came here for a reason, right? To be part of this process.
We chose to.
We chose to.
Exactly.
So, and the past life thing, I mean, I would love to just, I mean, we all get pieces of information, but I just wish I could spend more time getting more, information and accurate information about it, rather than just these impressions and feelings of, well, some of it's experiencing too, which ties right into our topic today, because we got chatting. We actually mentioned this in one of the season 2 episodes later in the year about how, I noticed that all these old memories were just kind of coming in. I wasn't sitting there thinking about the past. I was just doing something, and all of a sudden a memory would come up. And it would be like, oh, this is something that you did. And I thought, am I just getting attacked here? Like, are they just trying to impulse me with all this stuff to make me feel bad? And then I started paying attention to it, and I was like, it was almost like having a near-death experience, which you've had 2 of. But you're alive doing it and you're not going through trauma. It's just like, oh, these things are just gently floating up into your awareness, testing out how you feel about it. And it's like, I think I already dealt with that. Okay, but why is it coming up again? So, and we noticed that has been, I noticed it happening. We had a chat about it. But now I notice, like with my clients and talking to you, and people are more and more people are starting to experience this, where these memories are coming up. Some of them are from this lifetime, but they're also experiencing past life memories.
Exactly. There's one person that we know in particular. She's at the point of now, she just embraced that past life, and she started to feel things even stronger from that past life. And she goes, oh, I've done this, so I know how to do it. And bang, it just comes to her like nothing.
Yeah.
So remembering, it's like, ooh, that was cool. I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of our favorite people is going through that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say her name because
yeah, that's okay.
I haven't talked to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, it blows my mind. Like, she'll send me a text and this is what I experienced. And it's like, cool.
Yeah.
But we all have those flashes and that familiarity. And it's like, wow, this is really cool. Why is it cool? Because you lived it, because you were there. So embrace it. Right.
I caught the tail, and I wish I could remember which podcast I was listening to, but somebody was talking about, that we are living in this matrix. We are, and I know I'm going to talk all over the place here because it also brought up the, conversation I had with this young man over Christmas. We took some of Bill's family out for lunch, and this young guy is starting out in his career and doing computer stuff. And he got talking about AI, and, and AI can't take over the world like people think it can. And afterwards in the car on the way home, I said, I didn't want to say anything to him because how would you even explain it? But AI has already been here and taken over the world. It was in the future, and we've come back in the future. Just like that show, The Travelers, right? But they were talking about kind of this matrix that we live in, and how there's glitches in the matrix. When there's these glitches, for us, we experience it as deja vu. So it's either a parallel universe, or we've already lived it before, or experienced it before in some past life, but we experience it as deja vu because there's some glitch in the system that.
True.
So yeah, but I think it's important to talk about what people are, this whole memory thing. I know you experienced it for a good week. I think you said both daytime and evening.
Yeah.
Sleep time. Well, not that you sleep.
What sleep did I get? Yes. Because me, and I don't get a whole lot of sleep, but it's fascinating to me because everything I get, it's like, okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah. And it's pictures going in my head around and around and around. And then it's like a group of things, and then they let it go, and then they bring in another group of things. And it's like, okay. And you got to just relax and go with it, right?
Yeah.
And allow it to go through, because you don't know where you're going to use that information, but that information will come in handy.
Mhm.
So
Well, that's part of it. The other part could be that you got to be careful if it starts creating an emotional trigger for you, then you got to explore that. Okay, something's still there that needs to be healed.
so far not.
Good.
So far not. It's usually other people's stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why I have to watch what, doing those later phone calls at night and stuff like that. And stop doing those so much. But we've had this discussion.
Yes, and I broke the rules, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I did fall asleep after 4:30 in the morning.
I shouldn't have said anything. Anyway, but yeah, and I think if people understand, like, if this is accelerating for them, if they're feeling this acceleration, it's like a clearinghouse. It's clearing all this stuff up, and it's not to try to trap you into, down some spiral you into some depression or feeling bad about yourself or anything. It's about, okay, it's having your life review in front of you. Okay, I'm not that person anymore anyway. Do you know what I mean?
But I've had this, I dealt with it
Mhm.
and I've moved forward.
Yeah.
Always have to say I've moved forward.
Yes. And accept responsibility.
Exactly.
Ask for forgiveness if there's something that's still there, right?
Exactly.
Because we can't go back and fix or change it. And some of those things we chose to experience them. So it wouldn't have mattered. The outcome would have been the same because we chose to have that experience. So as long as we learn from that experience, then we're free. And it's like, I don't know, I can see it as a vision. I can vision it, just this clearinghouse emptying out. And I just see it as people just getting lighter and lighter and lighter as that gets cleared out. It's shedding all of that.
It's see, what I'm seeing right now is like this huge library, and these shelves are all empty. But when you deal with it, right, it fills up a book and the book goes on the shelf.
Mhm.
So that's from the past. Okay, so what's the next one we have to deal with? And then that book goes on the shelf. And then you can reference that. You can go back to it if you want to,
Mhm.
but there's no reason to, because you're clearing it on now in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So you can move forward with ease and
Mhm.
grace,
Yes.
right? And you can welcome all the new.
Well, and I think too, when you have those experiences where these images and stuff start coming in, then it's like, wow, look how much I've grown, because I don't do that anymore. Don't behave that way anymore, or I'd never do that again. And we all have moments in the past where in a split second we've done something on impulse, and then we go, oh my God, why did I ever do that?
Exactly.
Right? But you can't undo it. It's
No.
done. But
So deal with it.
yeah. So, and I noticed with some of the clients that are coming through, like they're not really understanding what they're experiencing. They're going like, I don't understand. Like, why is this happening? So I think by sharing more about what they're experiencing, okay, you're just going through, it's a clearinghouse where you're just going through this important part of our journey to get rid of all that stuff so we can move forward. And then if there's anything that becomes apparent that, I think if you get any repeats, it's like, okay, maybe I didn't really deal with that. How do I need to deal with that? So,
but the fun part is, if you're not dealing with it, they'll keep bringing it around and around and around until it drives you crazy, and you go, okay, I'll deal with it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think for some people too, who are just totally not oblivious, but not understanding at all that they are a spiritual being,
yeah,
and have had these experiences, and then they start getting stuff and seeing images of people they've never seen before. They're not understanding. And it's like, okay, well, why am I seeing this? Why am I experiencing this? Why am I dreaming about this? When sometimes when some of these experiences they're having I'm like, oh, you're getting that because it's a past life. That was you in a past life. That's why that's coming in. And it's like you being aware of who you were in all of these different versions of yourself that are actually existing at the same time, which I still can't get my head around. So
Yeah, that's a hard one to get your head around, but
yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but and people have to understand you're not always a male or you're not always a female in your next life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're showing some of these males or females that you're like they're familiar, but
Mm-hmm.
so people go, well, how's that possible?
Well, and I mean, we were some of those past lives too could have been off planet. They could have been in
Exactly.
other existences, right?
Different
Well,
dimensions.
many of them are. So
Yeah.
so it's like remembering who we were in those lives and what tools and resources and skills are we bringing into this life to use, which kind of segues into the conversation that we were having at lunchtime, and spirit just started coming through and I'm going, okay, hold that thought.
I hate that. That drives me freaking crazy. Hold that thought. And my tongue is literally shaking
I know.
because it wants to talk.
Because I'm going, she's going to tell me stuff and I'm going to have to write it down because she's not going to remember this. So we got talking about, one of a mutual client that we hadn't seen in a long time. And I was saying, oh, I bumped into her twice just before Christmas, which was kind of interesting. And we got chatting and she's still, practicing her Reiki and moving forward with her life. And she's had some big changes. And that led to, oh yeah, when she was in my class, like that was such an interesting class because I had 3 people that were all born in April. 2 of them shared the same birthday, and one of them was her, and her other classmate, they're sitting there at lunchtime going, yeah, do you think you went here? Maybe that's where I met you. No, what about here? No, I don't know. We've met somewhere before. I just know I know you. And I sat down and said, you guys have had a past life together. You need to talk to Janet. So they did and found out they did have this incredible past life together. And those connections, I mean, a lot of the times the people that we end up with in relationships, we've had past lives with those people. The families that we're coming in as soul groups. So a lot of that is pretty common information, I suppose, now. I mean, still some people don't accept it or believe it. But I'm also noticing, and you're noticing, is that these connections are starting to happen and evolve in a way that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So you were talking about them as the chosen ones, and they're going to be coming together over the next 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when they gather together, they're going to have a remembering, and that whatever they do, whatever the reason for connecting again, is going to help uplift the planet. And you said there's going to be lots of healing taking place, and you said lots of judgment, but you didn't like the word judgment. You said it's more like, okay, this isn't working anymore. We just have to do it in a different way. And that familiarity that people are feeling. So pay attention to that familiarity. Like when you are with somebody, talking to somebody, and this isn't about romantic relationships.
No,
it's about familiarity. And if you feel that connection, that's due to a past life.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause here for a sec, because do you also think maybe those people that we have an instant dislike for, that we've never met, we can't figure out why we have
enemies from a past life?
Okay.
100% enemies. Like they've done something to us, or, like it's the feeling is so strong. It's you never talked to that person before. Oh, but you have in a past life and dealt with that, and they have caused a lot of harm. And so you still carry those feelings from that past life. So it's like, okay, we got to come to terms with that and forgive. But we have a hard time doing it.
Right.
you know, because it's must be so horrid what they've done to us. And like we still have that disrespect and hate almost going
Mhm.
through us. I don't like to say the word hate,
I
but it's
know.
like it's the best way I can describe it.
Well, sometimes it's so uncomfortable or it's a fear,
Yes.
right? So, I wonder how that's going to show up. What do you think?
When somebody comes around you too, sometimes, and you get such a creepy feeling, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that it just makes you kind of nauseous and or puts a lump in your throat or in your gut. It's like, all the warning bells are going off in your body, and it's telling you avoid that person, get away from that person. This is a person that will harm you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like we're getting into an age where we're going to be using our intuition more and listening more to what spirit has to say. It's like way back when, we went by our intuition,
Mm-hmm.
not by the radio or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was one-on-one
Yep.
with the universe.
God, the creator,
Exactly.
spirit.
Exactly. And we listened and we were right
Mm-hmm.
because we were following what they guided us with.
Yep.
Like I told you, every time you listen, something turns out really great. And when you don't listen, things get a little boo-boo.
I should have taken that right hand turn instead of the left hand turn.
Exactly. But no, I find the more that you listen, the more at peace you're going to be.
Mhm.
And you're going to find the things that you've been looking
Well,
for.
things will go easier, right? Because
Yeah.
part of that is it's just not about our everyday. I mean, there's always this complexity, I think, of, well, we're here, humans having a human life. We still have to wash the dishes and do the laundry and go to work and et cetera, et cetera. But then there's this spiritual aspect of ourselves, this duality of like, we're here on the planet to do something. So why are we doing the dishes?
It's all part and parcel of life.
It's all part of it. Anyway.
Too bad we just couldn't think, okay, get the dishes done and the dishes spirit will go and do our dishes for us,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Let me know if you get that to work for you.
Spirit, take
I
out
know,
the garbage.
I know I have a child that thinks that there's going to be some elves at night that come in and clean the kitchen. It never happens though. Oh, look at that. It's still there.
Well, it depends on how you talk to your elves, I guess.
Oh, yeah. So then you were talking about, well, Spirit was talking through you about this familiarity due to the past lives. And people are just going to know what they have to do. So they're going to start coming online. I don't know how else to say that. But as they clear and heal, because you can't take that stuff with you, as you clear and heal and you build this stronger self, this inner self, and I think part of it is just not only just the healing, but it's making us stronger within ourselves so that nothing, whatever's coming, because there are going to be people that are going to be so hit with I mean, we keep hoping the truth is going to come out and it's starting to seep out, but it's going to hit people so hard when it does come out that they're going to have trouble accepting things and they're going to go through their own trauma. It's going to create trauma, right?
It will, most definitely.
And even for us, I mean, we can try to be as knowledgeable as we possibly can and connect with spirit and everything else, but we still don't know what's out there.
No,
we have no way. So we could even experience these things. So if we're not strong in our own, if we haven't cleared out all that inner stuff and aren't strong and stable within ourselves, those things are going to really knock us out. So
exactly.
And then we need to be in that higher frequency to be able to accept those other things that we had on that higher frequency level, if that makes any sense.
100%.
I listened to Peter Maxwell Slattery. He had a really good podcast talking about that. I should have got some notes from that before we went online, but anyone who wants to look for him on YouTube, he's got some really good insights. So anyways, back to what we were talking about. So the familiarity due to past lives, people are going to know what they have to do. They're going to come together for a solution that's going to help the earth and our everyday lives. And you said it's going to be more calm, more peace, more authenticity. And those that can't find that, those that don't believe it, those that don't want to do the work, don't want to be their authentic self, then it's like they're going to get sorted out.
Exactly.
And, you know, but that's going to be because of their own choice.
Exactly. And there, you know, there's another aspect of this too, because you're going to see more and more ships. Okay. And you're going to see them coming in and landing and talking and creating a peaceful atmosphere. Okay. And so we're going to be learning more from them as well.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, they're not here to cause war.
No.
They're here about peace.
Yeah.
And expanding the planet and turning it into a more loving place. So it's like, I'm looking forward to that because I think that's going to be really cool.
I sure hope it happens in our lifetime.
Well, I believe it will.
Yeah.
I believe that it's going to happen within the next couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, we can already have contact.
We do.
And we do. And, you know, some people can see them in different ways. There's that whole 3 a.m. wake up thing, but we'll save that for another podcast. And that's often when they communicate.
Oh, so you're just going.
But our vision. So the more we meditate, the more we connect with God. And I know as soon as you say the word God, that just creates tension and gets people's back up because we're not talking about the religious God. We're talking about the creator God. And we're all part of that, right?
Yeah.
So in some ways we already have that contact, but I think for us, if we could actually, you know, be in that, everyone had direct contact with them, then it would be, you know, a lot better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, people are supposed to be looking for the joy, the peace, the calm. It's getting away from the darkness, the heaviness, the lies, the manipulation, the
manipulation thing. Sorry to interrupt you there, but you know, this often comes up a lot. Like, and I guess my thing that I think about manipulation is and trust me, I mean, we've all done it at some point, but if you make a commitment to yourself that you will never tell another lie, and people think lies mean you're talking to someone and you purposely tell them a lie. But lies are more than that. Lies are deflection. Lies are, not, avoiding telling the truth about something, deliberately lying. But then there's manipulation. It's still a lie. But if you have to manipulate somebody to do something, then why do you feel you have to do that? Why can't you just ask and accept whatever answer? Or,
exactly.
I'm using asking, but why do you feel like you have to manipulate people to get what you want?
I was mostly talking about the government.
Oh, well, they do all of that.
Exactly. But this is the time when people have to, just say if that doesn't feel right, and question. Exactly. But yes, manipulation the other way too.
Yeah.
But I was going for the bigger one.
The big government thing.
Yes.
Well,
because
a big lie.
It doesn't matter how much education people have if they're practical, okay, and they have some practical sense there, then they're going to ask questions. Just because you have a fantastic education doesn't mean you're right.
Well, and I think we have to say too, like a lot of this government stuff, we have to understand there's the everyday people that are great people who work for the government, or not great people who work for the government or are the government. And then there's a whole, group, a whole echelon of individuals that are not here for our best interests and are manipulating everything about us, everything,
Exactly.
And some of the higher ups of the politicians are very aware of what they're doing, but they're lost souls anyway. So, and, on that whole note of, the whole negative alien agenda, all of that, I keep up with Lisa Renee's energetic synthesis. And although a lot of the terminology and information may be over a lot of people's heads, you can go into the Ascension Glossary and look things up. But I pay attention to that because more and more and more of these are getting shut down, taken off the planet, given the opportunity to rehabilitate themselves, because a lot of them are, not of this planet, that are doing the manipulation, etc. It's more than manipulation. We'll just use that word though. So it is happening, and we're going to feel that sense of it. But then there's all the human beings that are left on the earth that are still doing terrible things to each other, to us, etc. So that cleanup, I think, is gonna take a while.
Oh, yeah, that's going to take a while for sure. But it's going to happen in ways of a larger amount is getting caught at one time instead of just one here and there. It's going to be a group, that gets caught, and has to face the law.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call
And
it.
it's pretty fascinating because, some of this isn't all airy fairy, foofy spiritual stuff. Like I was listening to this guy talk about, he was being interviewed, and he was talking about how we went from, propaganda, because that's what they used in the world wars,
Right.
to get people to do stuff and participate in the war. And this guy by the last name of Bernays, and I remember his name because Bernays is my favorite sauce. But he, how the reason why margarine is yellow, the reason why we eat bacon for breakfast, he changed it from propaganda to PR, and he had his hands in so many things. And if people realize some of the things that we believe today was all a big public relations thing to get us to manipulate us.
Yes.
Into a way of living, of a way of being, even our education system.
Of course.
And it's like, okay, this is the way we're going to educate our people. And well, we won't even get into what they've been doing lately.
Well, no, that would take 10 more
episodes.
hours.
I don't even want to talk about it. But going back to the notes I took at lunchtime here. So talked about the coming together, the chosen ones, and that just by touching with their fingertips in a circle of these people, and you're going to know who you are. You don't have to go seek this out. It's going to happen.
Exactly. It's going to come in with these.
And they're going to get downloaded with the past, like their past life information and the information they need. So the information they from past lives and the information from this life in order to work together. And how to bring peace to the planet and peace to everyone. And you talked about, going back to the old way of doing things. There'd be no blue sky, no chemtrailing, little pollution. Everything would get cleaned up. There wouldn't be any vaccines.
No poisons in the food.
Poisons in the food. We would have a whole different way of living and being.
Well, people will be living in a way that everything that goes into their body is clean and good and positive, and it's like they feel good about life. If there's anything that their body is bothered with, nature has the cure. So it's like they'll experience all this, and it's like it's kind of weird because I'm seeing like this, I guess you can call it like an iPad or something. And they can just bring it up and touch it and say which herb, to help heal this and this. And the plant will come up, the picture of the plant, how to use the plant, how to dry the plant, everything else. All the information is there. Okay.
Mhm.
And they'll be able to go about and do this because I can see them having like all the different plants in their houses and stuff like that.
Cool.
Like it's going to be really cool.
Hmm.
So,
And I did record because she just started talking again. Her spirit started talking again. I said, I'm going to record this. So after we've done with this episode, I'm going to listen to it. And if there's anything I missed in there, then what I'll do is I'll just insert the recording. I'll just edit the audio to put that in there. But
you're good at all that stuff. That's not my.
Trust me, it takes me a while to figure it out. I have to watch lots of YouTube videos. So, as far as the past life stuff that's coming out and this whole review of our lives and stuff, like, does Spirit have any more information about that?
Well, Spirit wants you to pay attention, especially to your dreams, because there are occurrences that are coming up in your dreams that you're going to feel like you're there, you're doing it, you're part of it. And that is also part of your past life. And it might be part of your past life that was really, really good. And so you'll be meeting up with some of those people from that past life where you felt really good. And there's a lot of past life connections coming up that are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It'll blow your little socks off. Well, your socks are off.
Well, I know, don't have socks on. You know that.
But I feel like the things that were really, really good with certain people, those people are coming in. They don't look the same as they did before, but those connections are coming back in.
Yeah.
And so when you get all those great connections coming in, right? Like it builds up your energy, it builds up your vision, it builds up every aspect of your life that makes you feel good. And so you're both on a higher plane. Okay. And it's like these people will stay around you for the rest of your life. And so think where you're going to be 10 years from now.
Yeah.
What's
life going to be like?
It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be awesome.
Better than it has been. We're going to be a different planet. So I also think that because we've always had past people connecting with past lives and stuff, and in the past didn't even realize that was a connection. But I think if there's this shift and this move towards the connection of the grouping, the gathering of people from past lives, maybe one thing to say to people is if you notice that the universe is shifting gears in your life and then chaos is starting to happen, that's shifting you either, away from a marriage, a family, a work situation, the community you live in, if all of those things are starting to change, to shift relationships, then be the observer and pay attention to what's happening and don't resist it. Don't fight it, because maybe these things are in operation in order to remove you from where you are to get you in
Something
connection
better
with the people that you're meant to be with.
Exactly.
And I think the other part of it too is that sometimes too with soul connections, people think that they have to be romantic.
No.
And not all soul connections have to be a romantic connection.
No, sometimes it's just a best friend.
Yeah.
Or, a brother or sister like familiarity, or like a mother from the really cool thing when you were talking, all around your eyes, they were blue.
Really?
Yes. There was a blue line going all the way around your eyes.
Cool.
Yes. And your eyes are hazel.
No, my eyes are dark brown.
No, not now. They're not. No. They don't look dark brown. They look hazel.
I
Like,
my eyes were black when I was born, but and they were always like chocolate brown. But
no. Your eyes are changing again.
really,
Yes.
interesting.
Your eyes have done that before too. Holy moly.
Well, I remember, who was it? We were, some of the people that we were working with, and doing, and they had Reiki and stuff. It seemed that the more that they used that energy, I'm thinking of one person in particular, one of the guys, their eyes actually went from dark brown to a much lighter color, and they had pictures to show us.
Yeah.
So I wonder what that's about. That's
good.
interesting.
Well, I guess that's part of the changes coming up.
Oh,
It's okay.
I guess so. Here, I'm gonna just ship in. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Just gonna
much
get
better.
the sunshine out of Janet's eyes here. Not that we're complaining about the sunshine.
No.
It makes it hard to.
No, but it just makes it hard to see.
We actually get to be in person today to do this, which doesn't always happen. So
I
that's
know.
nice.
It was so nice to drive here too.
Mhm.
You know, they got most of the slush off the road, so that was nice.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah.
So anything else about, what are some other things that come through as far as past lives? What about 2026? I know we're kind of deviating here, but we have a bit of time. So what else do you, and I know that you listen to other people that are talking about all these changes and shifts and stuff, but what do you, all of that aside, what everybody else is saying,
Right.
are you getting anything that's like different than everybody else is saying? I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, for me, mostly I have that feeling of there's so much better coming than leaving. It's a year to clear out finish clearing out.
Mhm.
Okay. And I just feel like the new things that are coming and entering, they're not going to be as bad as people think they are,
Mhm.
you know? And I feel like we're going to be given more choices. But I just feel like what we're letting go of had to be let go of.
Right.
But I just know that this is going to be such an awesome year for a lot of people.
Mhm.
You're one of them, so.
Oh, gee, thank you. I'll meet you on December 31st and we'll have a recap.
We usually do, though.
We do.
But that's what it feels like. It's like a clearing out, and it's opening doors. And there's so many doors of opportunity that are coming, and people coming with offers and things like that, that it makes it absolutely wonderful, because I feel like you're going, oh, wow, that came easier than I thought.
Mhm.
Okay. So don't be afraid to let go.
Mhm. Oh, wow. I already know, I mean, we're getting personal here, but it's with the whole numerology year cycle for me started in September. So for me, it would be like year 9. So
Oh, God.
I'm already decluttering my house. Getting rid of all the stuff that no longer serves me.
Well, yeah, and the tree is there. So,
Oh, yes. Well, I still have my tree. But that's a thing. People who've known me a long time know that, usually the tree is the last thing to get ousted from my house.
well, it smells so good because it's real.
Yes, and it came from Bill's property, actually. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's another story.
Right.
So, in conclusion of all of this, as far as, any other tips for people to what they might be experiencing? I know there's lots of ascension stuff that's happening that are making people uncomfortable. We're talking about itchy skin and it's affecting. So a lot of this stuff where our bodies are physically changing, biologically changing, energetically changing. And of course, they never explain any of that to us. So I think that people need to be aware. I think just being aware, being really observant and self-aware.
Exactly. And do things to help your body,
Mhm.
Like eat clean and drink your water,
Mhm.
Do the things that.
Exercise, get outside.
Yes.
I need to get outside.
Hug a tree.
Hug a tree. Talk to the trees.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do little things like that. And when you start to feel like really negative or really down, get out,
Yeah.
go outside, go for a walk. If that's not possible, then look at something that makes you laugh.
That brings you joy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the other part of it is we have to understand all of the stuff that's impacting us that we can't see it. We might be experiencing it, but it's affecting our children, our pets, everything, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what can I do to make me feel better now?
Mm-hmm. How can it get better than this?
How can it get better than this? I wasn't going to say that I was going to be a good girl, but you know.
But that's a good saying. So, well, Janet, unless Spirit has something else to say, I think we will bring this episode to a close. I can't believe we've talked for almost an hour.
What is somebody that said to us one day, the only way she's quiet is when I feed her.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But
Mhm.
you know, we're both Tauruses, so
Yes,
we can talk.
we can talk. It was great having tea with you today.
Well, it was nice being here.
Yeah, first episode of 2026. And thank you to all of our listeners, to those that are supporting us and sharing our videos. And if you have any interesting stories that you wish to share or would like us to investigate for you, get a hold of us and we will definitely talk to you about it. So, good day, good night, wherever you might be. And I hope you have a fabulous few months of 2026. Anything can happen, really.
Go with the flow.
Go with the
Go
flow.
with the flow. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. And we will chat again soon.